Good morning. Little light reading this morning, right? We are reading in The Art and Practice of Spiritual Herbalism by the one and only Karen M. Rose, creator of Sacred Vibes Apothecary. Now, I remember learning the immune system in year one of apprenticeship. And what's beautiful about this book is that it encapsulates the level 1 experience very well. So it's beautiful to get to revisit. It's beautiful to get to revisit level 1 this way. Okay? And we begin. Our lifestyle and everyday stress diminish our Wei Qi. Wei Qi is a term in Chinese medicine that refers to a large part of the immune system. It's the protective layer and energy force that guards our bodies. Our lifestyle and everyday stress diminish our Wei Qi. This absence, along with lack of community, support, forgiveness, spiritual practice, creates an inability to assert and defend ourselves. The connection between our immune system and our ability to assert and defend ourselves, our confidence in being able to assert and defend ourselves. You know, Empress Karen absolutely teaches the immune system from a perspective of protection and really putting you in a space to reassess what boundaries are to you, what they mean to you, how you use them, or maybe even abuse them. So that idea that our immune system houses our ability or even our inability to assert and defend ourselves. Shoring up our Wei Qi is our daily work. I call this work protection work, and it is ongoing. It is preventative medicine and practices that we employ, not waiting until the immune system is compromised before we try to fix it. My belief and practice in herbalism is very, very rooted in proactive care. And I cannot take credit for that because that is directly how I was taught by Empress Karen Rose. And I still have my own struggles with it, right? I have my own struggles with my daily practices, my daily rituals. Cognitively, I know, yes, I need to be doing this and I know why. Boom. We're on an accord about that. Cool. But I still struggle. With my daily practices. On one hand, ADHD. On another hand, living with people creates variables, I think, to routines and rituals. Especially if you're already not got it. And last I checked, I'm also high Vata, if I'm not mistaken. So, some things don't come as naturally and easily to me. But I really do believe in preventative care. The herbs and the plants, they are so much more able to do their work before something is broken, before something is in a severe state, before a condition becomes severe. So, and it's kind of like gardening, right? Or it's kind of like the act of stewarding herbs and stewarding the plants that the herbs are from. You plant proactively. You don't plant something because you need to eat today. You know what I mean? So it is fully in the nature of plants and herbs for it to be an intentional practice for it to be an intentional practice, an intentional, proactive practice as far as how we engage and build relationships and steward herbs. But yeah, we then continue to read on, and directly next is an admonishment that is deeply necessary and familiar. It reads, "Over my years as an herbalist, my apprentices will testify to my lengthy admonishment around protection work." Our days should start and end with calling in protection. I have marveled at how we choose our breakfast, choose our adornment for the day, and run out the door without our most crucial shield, protection. Protection is defined as a shield or barrier that protects you from suffering harm or injury. Protection work is practicing prevention and strengthening our shield. Simply put, that shield is spirit, divine forces, angelic guides, our ancestors, and our human body. When our relationship to these protective forces is lacking, we create external sources of security, a pseudo form of protection, and an expansion of colonized thinking called boundaries in the West. I remember that class, this class. I remember how that felt live. I remember, and I still, because I'm still grappling. I'm definitely still grappling. Real protection is always spiritual and entirely different from boundaries. It is innate, the shield that exists around us that we walk through life, and it is strengthened by our spiritual connection and our body's health. The immune system is co-guided by the planets Mars and Neptune. The energy of Neptune unites humanity in oneness and love. It is about extending compassion and dissolving boundaries. When boundaries dissolve, we open to everything, including viruses and emotional and spiritual attacks. We are moving through a more united global community with the removal of borders and boundaries toward a dissolution of independence and upliftment of interdependence. As these Neptunian developments happen, we will witness the rise of new viruses that demand that the immune system evolves along with us into a more compassionate understanding of what protection can look like without borders and boundaries. The Western concept of boundaries seeds itself on the creation of more. The more we have, the more we need, and the more we think that we are protected. It is a damaging and false concept that the more boundaries we institute, the more protected we are. Boundaries, as taught, are rooted in a lack of community. Much of our healing professionals' training and education in the West centers around boundary creation. As healers, we have created boundaries that prevent us from acting from a heart-centered place. Many times, our walls keep us from opening up and connecting heart to heart. As healers, we have to be accessible. Relationship building is the foundation for healing. People recognize truth and know when we are withholding, and this damages the opportunity to have a real connection, empathy, compassion, and true healing. That I have to sit and absorb and digest that every time I come across it. From the first time live in class to all these years later. So that's our food. That's our food for thought for today. Yeah.